to have a nice day.
I want cash.
Yeah.
I just want,
I want cash, but like, I'm not going to ask my
I don't mind people wishing me happy birthday or even buying me like a dinner or a present.
Yeah, a nice card or
jewelry.
But I also don't expect it at all.
Right.
And I don't want to have to plan. I plan enough.
That's the thing. I've told people in the past, I'm a producer, and what I want for my birthday is not to produce my birthday.
Yeah.
Just do something nice and don't make me plan it.
I would like your unyielding loyalty.
Right.
Make little sheets of paper.
Are you going
into
into politics? Oh, okay.
Or creep them out and just say, I own your soul, or at least 20% of your soul.
Yeah, I just want to own your soul. It doesn't cost a thing.
Just sign here in the dotted line.
What do you want for your birthday? Your soul.
Your soul.
Well, at least a majority share.
Your
majority
choice.
stake in your store. In your
You can either just wish me happy birthday or give me your soul. Those are your two options.
By wishing me happy birthday, you are signing over your soul.
Yes.
Thank you in advance.
So are you sure you don't want this cookie?
Custard cream? Maybe. Maybe.
I was trying to make a Soul Calibur joke, but it didn't work in my head.
Is that franchise still around?
Yeah, a new game is coming out this month or next. Yeah, Soul Calibur 6.
Wow. The last one I played was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I think that was the
first one.
The first one came out on the Dreamcast. Yeah.
I remember there was literally a tidal wave of 3D fighting arena games that came out with the advent of the PlayStation.
They're all fighting each other. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Tekken.
Oh, actually, it comes out this week, on the 19th. Soul Calibur 6.
Actually, okay, for my birthday, this is what I want. I want a Street Fighter Mortal Kombat crossover game. That's what.
Wait, does that not exist?
No,
it seems like it would already.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many crossovers already.
Yeah. Capcom does not want to do it because they think the Mortal Kombat franchise is too violent, which is kind of odd considering what the game is.
Mortal Kombat is connected with DC, and Capcom's connected with Marvel. That's what the issue is.
Well, no, but they've haven't they done? No, they haven't yet. Have they?
They've done DC crossover with Mortal Kombat. For sure.
No, I mean like DC and Capcom. But I guess it's all Marvel.
I think so. Yeah.
No, but really, that's what I want. I want to be able to be Sub-Zero and fight Ryu or Ken or Sagat or something.
It almost had to be like a Smash Brothers type game where it's like everybody can come together and do that. There's one for anime coming out.
There have been a couple.
Jump Force that's coming out, but yeah, it won't have those.
But the cool mechanic is if you leave the fighting, like in Mortal Kombat, you have a block button. Like you leave all that in, so it would be a different combination of skill sets, but also of the characters, but also how to actually play the game. I know it'd be kind of weird, but I think it would be fun.
No, why not?
It'd also be fun if we do the show.
Oh no, I want to keep talking about games that not going to ever exist. Come on.
Well, we could do that after the show.
Oh, you have a schedule and people waiting. Oh,
look at me.
Why didn't you tell me?
Organizing something because it's not my birthday. Shall we start in 30 seconds? Would that be good with everyone?
That would be fine.
Is everyone on board with that? Sarah, could you read line 3?
I could.
Today. Would you though? I know you could.
I can and I will.
Excellent.
I think we all can.
My birthday dream has come true.
You'd be surprised.
All right. 15 seconds. Places, everyone.
Tom, when is your birthday? Wait, hold
on. June. End of June.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I got time.
Plenty of time. Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks to everybody who supports Daily Tech News Show directly. To find out more, head to dailytechnewsshow.com/support.
This is the Daily Tech News for Monday, the Ides of whatever this month is. October 15th, 2018. In Los Angeles, I'm Tom Merritt.
And from Studio Feline, I'm Sarah Lane.
Also in Los Angeles, I'm Lamarr Wilson.
And I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
We got a lot of stuff coming out of Adobe. Good stuff, not the kind of stuff that comes out of other things at other times. I don't know why it struck me that way. We have some positive announcements.
Good Adobe leakage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh no!
I said it was good.
Maybe.
I said it was good.
Let's start with a few tech things you should know.
Let's do that. Quantum Magazine reports that UC Berkeley's Urmila Mahadev has solved a problem in quantum computing on how to determine if a quantum computer has followed instructions and solved problems correctly. Unlike classical computers, you can't really check the steps of a quantum computer. After 8 years of grad school work, Mahadev developed an interactive protocol employing a trapdoor function and learning with errors, or LWE, to make sure that quantum computers are doing what you want the quantum computer to do. LWE is the most likely candidate for a cryptographic function that can't be broken by quantum computers.
Huge advance. It's almost impossible to explain, but a huge advance.
I can't understand it.
Well, it's basically to be able to know that a quantum computer is doing what it's supposed to, which is very difficult, and a difficult problem that has now apparently been solved.
Something else that needs to be solved are PS4 problems. Several PS4 users are reporting their consoles are being bricked by malicious chat message. Sony is aware of the problem and developing a system update to resolve it. Users can set messages to private to avoid accidentally receiving the corrupted chat message. It's always something with Sony. Always.
Well, it reminds me of that thing that happened with iMessage where you'd send one particular character and it could crash people's stuff. So yeah,
sounds like that.
Axios has sources that say Apple acquired a startup called Asai, ASAII, which uses artificial intelligence to identify and recommend musical artists to labels and managers. The source told Axios that Apple wants to use it to sign talent to Apple Music. That's something Spotify does. I don't know if they use AI, but they do sign independent musicians to Spotify. So it sounds like Apple would like to ramp that up as well. All right, let's talk a little bit more about some other stuff, starting with a monitor. Now monitors don't get us as excited as they used to, but I don't know. This one seems pretty exciting, Lamarr.
It does. So Dell announced the U4919 DW Ultra Sharp 49-inch curved monitor with 5120 by 1440 resolution and the ability to show two computer screens at once, side by side, and handle mouse and keyboard input for both. The 49-inch curved monitor will be available starting at $16.99 on October 26th. So first of all, these monitors are just getting crazy big. I think 49 inches is you're sitting like inches from it. It's too much, so much light blazing in your eyes. But whatever, we'll all be blind in a few years anyway. But what I really like this monitor. I like the concept of it. If you're a gamer, not so much. 60 frame, not 60 frames. What is it? The 60 hertz refresh rate. It mentions it doesn't have G-Sync or FreeSync technology. But if you're a person who's like looks at the stockbroker type person or editor of video, I can see the value of having that huge screen there. Or I was thinking of a streamer, but then the gaming thing is not so part. But a streamer, just have one monitor, split the two so they can game on one and watch chat on the other. But a lot of them use two monitors for that now.
No,
but,
absolutely. I have a 127-inch monitor that I flip back and forth between two computers with. I love this. I could just put one of the 49-inch monitor and just have both computers up at the same time. I could also use more real estate. I've been wanting to upgrade to a bigger monitor for a while anyway. $1,700, man.
I was gonna say, what do you think of the price? Yeah, that's
pretty cost prohibitive. But I'm with you, Tom. I'm on a Windows machine right now that I mirror to a nice external monitor. 49 inches sounds crazy big. Yeah. But if I could have my MacBook and my Windows laptop somehow worked out, during the show, I could do a lot more at the same time, and that would be pretty cool. TCL has licensed the Palm name to a California startup run by two former Samsung vice presidents. Their first product is called the Palm. It's a small phone. It's meant to be used when you don't want or need to carry your big phone. Credit card sized device. It's a 3.3-inch LCD display with 445 PPI, running Android 8.1 with a custom interface and Google Assistant as well. Shares a phone number with your existing phone, so you can't buy it on its own. It's a companion phone. Costs $350, available in November from Verizon. I don't want another phone.
Well, I know that the return of Palm, or at least the name Palm, is
that was exciting.
Yeah, it's. I was a Palm fan. I liked the handspring visor, and I had a Palm E series. It has a special place in my heart too. But the bigger story here, I think, is this trend of people wanting a smaller second device because they don't want the distraction of their full phone. So they want, like, there's a lot of these, like, oh, make this your second phone, and this one is marketing itself as you can have that second phone and keep the same phone number. In fact, you have to. It's the only way we're going to sell it to you.
I just, as somebody who's, I have a somewhat large iPhone, but it fits into small purses. It works. It fits into most jacket pockets of mine. I just don't feel like I need that even smaller phone for those other times where this phone is just too much. I mean, I can run with this. It's not like that heavy or that big.
Yeah, I guess is this society is trying to, they're tired. We want to get away from our phone. We want to get away from the email, get away from, the web. It's almost like going on a diet of the internet. I just don't know how sustainable that is given the society we're in. Or just put your phone on do not disturb. I'm not sure another device is needed. And if it is needed, hello, smartwatches with LTE, they exist.
Yeah, I wonder how many people with smartwatches would ever want something like this, because it kind of works the same way, doesn't it?
And these two Samsung
exactly the same way
worked in the wearables department at Samsung. Like, they're definitely taking that watch aesthetic and saying, hey, maybe it could work for people who don't want to wear it as a phone. Because, I feel like there's a little overlap, although you can do a little bit more with this thing. I mean, I know it's only a 3.3-inch LCD screen, but that's pretty much the same PPI as the iPhone XS. Like, it's a nice looking screen. $350 for a second phone that you want to be less capable, though. That's a lot of money going into.
That's a lot of money.
It's like 2 sets of keys. You're just gonna not have the right one. You really, really need it. Yeah.
So maybe we're the wrong people. Email us, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. If you're like, no, I love this idea. Let me tell you why. Tell us why. We'd love to know. MIT announced a $1 billion initiative to establish a new college of computing to train people in how to apply machine learning to their discipline, like biology, chemistry, physics, even politics, history, and linguistics. Of the 50 faculty in the new college, half will be hired as computer scientists, and the other half will be appointed jointly with the other MIT departments. So there'll be interdisciplinary hires. In a press statement, MIT President L. Raphael Reif said the college will equip students to think critically about the human impact of their work. So they're going to try to teach people the ethics of using this stuff as well. Stephen A. Schwartzman, CEO of the private equity firm Blackstone, has contributed $350 million. So they're a third of the way to the billion they need. And therefore, the college will be the Schwartzman College. They'll be naming it after him because of that donation.
Oh, that's nice. I think the nice thing about this is that although it's separate with the AI, they're saying, hey, if you are a biology major, great. But here's another thing you can use for, to help you in your in your field. So it's not in isolation. It's to complement all the other, biology, chemistry, physics, politics. It doesn't matter. AI can be beneficial in each one of those. I think I like that angle versus a whole separate major just for AI. Yeah,
because they are already teaching AI in the computer science department at MIT. Right. I didn't look in to find out what, but that's something that's been going on. They have a lot of machine learning stuff coming out of there. So what this is doing is saying, instead of you having to be dedicated to computer science, maybe you want to learn machine learning as a tool, in which case, let's help you get really good at it and use it ethically in a different discipline rather than just pure research on machine learning. And like you say, Lamarr, I'm not really doing other than repeating what you said. It's a good interdisciplinary approach to things that will help widen the responsible use of machine learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So Amazon filed a patent that would enable its voice assistant to detect changes in a user's voice and identify if someone has a cold. It could then suggest remedies like chicken soup. The patent, the patent says the technology.
Do you have a cold, Lamarr? Would you like a recipe for chicken soup?
I know it's like that doesn't help with codes. Anyway, moving on. The patent says the technology could also detect emotional states, sleeping, crying, where the user is located, age, gender, and accent. The data would be used to target ads as well. Well, of course it would. It's Amazon.
Well,
so look. I mean, reading this article, everybody's thinking the same thing. Really? Like, are you going to cough into your Amazon Echo? Probably that's weird. That's going to be spreading germs on that.
Head towards the Echo. And
yeah. So obviously, this will have to be an always on, always listening for anything type of device.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
And granted, this is just a patent, so we actually have no idea how they would actually put it in practice. But if I'm reading it right, when you spoke to the Echo is when it would analyze. So when you're saying, turn on the lights, it would be like, oh, I heard a cough there, right? And it could measure your breathing patterns in small snippets like that and still be able to analyze stuff, which is, I think, one of the things that makes it patentable is that it's a different approach to that.
Yeah, I'd love to see this in practice or hear it in practice, because sure, everyone is, you sort of been in a mood. Maybe you have a cold. Yeah, maybe you're tired. Maybe you're just being snippy. And your AI assistant is like, wait, what? I didn't understand what you said. So it's like you want these various emotional states that we all have to be recognizable. At the same time, if I am literally crying and trying to play a song, I don't want my assistant to be like, here are some mental health websites,
Would you like some other sad songs from the Amazon Music Library?
Right. I'm not sure I want to be reminded that that's happening because I already know. Or maybe I do. Maybe this becomes more of a friend who is going to offer chicken soup when I feel ill. Which I don't know, Lamarr. I don't know what you have against chicken soup, but it always helps me.
Well, no, it's great. I'm just saying scientifically it doesn't do anything for the
What's
cold. But it's nice and comforting.
What's interesting is the part of gender and accent. So does that suddenly mean that if you have, say, a British accent, it's going to start throwing, British, English, Scottish ads at you?
Well, it's okay. So we're getting to the point of this being a patent story. A patent has a definite different point than a press release or a product design.
Sure.
A patent says, I figured out some technology. Here are all the conceivable things I can think of using it for, which always makes it sound scarier than an actual product announcement because you need to patent widely. We have no idea when Amazon comes out with this thing, what they're going to do with it. Will they use the accent to just make it understand you better, or will they use it to target ads towards you? It's a fair question, but we really
the answer is probably both.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going to do with it until they do it, and that's when it's time to criticize. But they could do anything with this, which is why they need to go to MIT and learn the ethics of machine learning.
Exactly. Yeah, we want Star Trek as a society, but when it actually comes to us, we then get scared of it. So we're very interesting as a people.
Something else that might be scary is a whale. Whales are very large mammals, majestic, really. They live in the ocean, but it's also slang for somebody who is a large holder of Bitcoin, somebody or some entity. It is known as a whale. The worry with whales is that they can influence the market a lot, either by selling off coins in large numbers or potentially teaming up with other whales to control more than 50% of the coins in existence. That would undermine the stability of a system that is supposed to rely on no one entity having a majority of the coins. So people are a little bit worried about this. Chainalysis has published a study of the 32 largest coin wallets, showing that actually they tend to stabilize the market rather than the alternative. 1/3 of whales are active traders. They tend to trade against the herd, meaning that they're trading kind of on down markets rather than reactionary markets, which slows down price changes. And the rest of the whales either don't trade or don't affect the market because they're miners, they were early adopters, or in some cases have lost their wallet key and can't really even be involved.
Yeah, a handful of the largest whales that they studied of these 32 just hadn't traded since 2011. So it's presumed they just don't have the key or they would have done something since then.
So I'm learning. I've been in the last week learning a lot more about stocks and things. I've actually, jumped in the market just to kind of get my feet wet at this late age of mine. I was wondering, so what how would these whales be different from like a Carl Icahn who owns a bunch of stocks and can influence a market?
Right,
you know,
right.
like I'm just curious, like what's the scarier? Why is this scarier than someone who can?
Yeah, there's two different things you can be scared of. One is mining resources. That's a little bit different than being a whale and having all the big wallets. But if you have a big wallet, you likely also have, you might have big mining resources as well. And mining resources is where if you get more than 50%, the system breaks down. That's different than just having a lot of the coins. But I think the difference is still the same, which is if you have the majority of the coins, you can know that there are only a certain amount of coins out there, whereas you can control a company by getting 50% of its stock, but you can't conceivably control all the companies. There's just too many of them.
Okay.
Is that
no, that you explained it perfectly. Yes,
I'm curious if an actual financial professional could assess that evaluation, but I feel like that's one of the differences. You've got a closed system versus an open system.
I also found it interesting, and it was a really great breakdown that Chainalysis did. That a lot of people tend to think of like, whoa, Bitcoin. There's a lot of dark net trading happening, and people who are trying to, launder money or do other things that are illegal. And Chainalysis found that segment is smaller than the people who simply just cannot access their Bitcoin because they've lost track of where it is in whatever wallet they had at one point.
Wow.
The largest number of the biggest wallets are traders or miners.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who've lost their keys. And then there's the dark web down there below that somewhere. Hey folks, if you want to get all the tech headlines each day in about 5 minutes, be sure to subscribe to dailytechheadlines.com. All right, Adobe MAX going on. We're going to run through some of the announcements here real quick. Photoshop CC for iPad, unlike previous mobile apps from Adobe, can do everything the desktop version can do. So all the effects, real-time edits of a multi-layer PSD file. The user interface displays the full toolbar and layer management interface. Now, they have tweaked it to work better on a tablet, but everything is there. Edits will sync through Creative Cloud to the desktop version of Photoshop as well. So you can end on the tablet, pick up on the desktop, vice versa. Photoshop CC 1.0 for iPad will debut with fewer features than were previewed today. So you're not going to get everything all at once, but Adobe says they'll all arrive eventually. And if you're interested, you can sign up for updates at the Adobe website. They're not putting it out today. Adobe also demonstrated Project Arrow for building augmented reality experiences in private beta for release in 2019. So it's basically Adobe's AR program, and Project Gemini, which is a standalone app for painting and drawing on an iPad, particularly also in private beta. Here's the one you can actually get, though. Adobe announced several other new products, including Premiere Rush CC for desktop and iOS, with an Android version to follow in 2019. Premiere Rush is a video editor that takes a lot of the pieces of Illustrator and After Effects and Photoshop and Premiere and puts them in one editor optimized for social. So YouTube, of course, but also Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Vimeo. You can export to all of those. The app is included in Creative Cloud plans starting at $10 a month. Although you can use it for free, you can only export up to 3 videos in the free tier before you have to start paying for Creative Cloud. And Lamarr, I know you tried this out today.
I did. I was very excited about this because just the prospect of having a new editor. Disclaimer: not disclaimer like it's legal, but I said since 2011 I've been using Final Cut 10 since it came out. So that's just been my editor of choice. But I like a lot of the things that Adobe is doing, and of course when I went into this definitely feels like that iMovie-ish.
Yeah,
but you mentioned a lot of other things. It's dropping in a little Illustrator, dropping in a little After Effects, and things that are kind of just ready to go. And I think as I was trying this, I tried it on iOS first, and going through the tutorial, it was smooth, dead simple, way smoother than iMovie. I always have trouble with iMovie and iOS, and I was able to go through and make a movie really quick and format it, and I could choose I could save it to my camera roll, or I can send it directly to YouTube, Instagram. You mentioned Snapchat, and there's another one that Adobe owns, Behance, I believe. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I like what it is. I think for the beginning intermediate YouTuber or social media person who is coming along. I think this is a great suite of features, because the number one question we get as creators is, what software do you use? What's your editing app? And I'm scared sometimes to tell people, Final Cut 10, because it could be, just like Premiere is, it could be overwhelming. There's sometimes there's too much in there for the average person who just does vlogs. And so I think it's a good one. I will say the desktop trial that I downloaded for the Mac, that color wheel of death kept happening. I couldn't get through the whole tutorial. Maybe I had a bad copy or whatever, but the iOS was flawless. I tried it on my phone, and I think there's some promise here. I think $10 a month though is going to be a tough sell. I mean, I paid $300 for my Final Cut back in 2011, and that's all I've paid. I'm
paying $30 a month for Premiere Pro right now. I do some very light video editing for another podcast, Have Such a Good Day, that I produce. It's not a complicated edit, but the reason that I use Premiere Pro is because if for any reason someone else has to jump into the project, that's what everybody else is using, and that's just sort of the way it goes. However, when I export, it's like, I sort of like export for YouTube 1080p, and it seems like the best thing to do. I would rather pay $10 a month to do what's probably going to be covered with Premiere Rush. So this is advantageous to me, especially if somehow I can get the file sizes down a little bit, because I always feel like I could probably save some size when I'm exporting these huge files, but I don't really know what I'm doing enough to do a lot of that troubleshooting on my own. And yeah, I mean, I don't know about Snapchat, but a lot of people I think would be thrilled with that. Yeah. And the kind of vertical video thing with Instagram as well.
Yeah. I think this is going to be crazy huge for those who finally, like me, I don't know if I can ever do it, but I would love to be able to take my iPad to be my main thing one day. I don't know when that could happen. Obviously, the processors are good enough, right, Tom? Like, they're going to come out with a new one this year. So the processing power is there, but to be able to edit on the fly, start on my desktop, take with me on my iPad and keep going, or on my phone. I think there's something there for the on-the-go influencer entrepreneur, to kind of get away from that computer. Because besides editing, I don't need my laptop. Well, to do this, talk to you all. Hi. But other than that, I don't, I don't use it for that much more than just web stuff.
Yeah, for the $10 individual plan gets you Premiere Rush, 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, Adobe Fonts, Adobe Portfolio, and Adobe Spark. That's it. So if you need anything else besides that, you're going to have to be paying a lot. And that was why I wanted to look that up, because if you're paying $120 a year and you get a bunch of Adobe stuff involved, like, maybe some access to Photoshop and stuff like that, then maybe it's worth it. I'm not sure if Fonts, Portfolio, and Spark are enough to justify it, but maybe. And especially if like you, Sarah, if you're spending $30 a month and you're like, I'm not sure I need all of that, this could be a great option.
Exactly.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say, that there are some creators I've talked to who use Premiere, who find it, and if they use it for years, they like it, but they find it awfully buggy, because they can just keep pushing out updates. There was one update that happened a few months ago. My friend said that he couldn't save. Like, it was a bug that permitted you from saving, one of the cornerstone things of editing software. So that's the one hesitation I have with Adobe products. I will hope things, even like I ran into a problem today with it being buggy. So I'm hoping there's some stability that can make it worth it for you paying that subscription for each month.
And it's an ongoing conversation about subscription software, but it is the way everything is going now. And buying something for download and use without paying for it on an ongoing basis is becoming the rarity. It's becoming the thing companies do to keep their base happy. But if you want to make sure you've got bugs squashed fast, you're always up to date and secure, you want to be updating all the time anyway. So if you pay a little, you're not only just updating all the time, but you're also getting new features as they come along. So I don't know. It's just a new way of doing things, I guess.
Yeah. Good announcements, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely be giving at least Rush a spin. I don't know. Talk about it on a show at a later date. Hey, thanks to everybody who participates in our subreddit. Submit stories and vote on others at dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. Thank you in advance. You make our show better every single day. Also, thanks to those who hang out on our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/dailytechnewsshow. All right, let's check in with amateur traveler Chris Christensen, who has some thoughts on Expedia's expansion into voice assistant integration.
This is Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler with another Tech in Travel Minute. At the Skiff Tech Forum in June, the CTO of Expedia, Tony Donahue, said that voice is their future. Even though the current technologies are brittle, they've rolled out an interface with Google Assistant where you can say things like, book me a hotel in Antigua, Guatemala, or what should I pack for Austin? I'm still a little skeptical about this because there's a lot that I want to put into that decision about what hotel to book. Some you may be able to put into preferences like my favorite business hotel versus my favorite leisure hotels. But how about where that hotel is located? Do they have an airport shuttle? Are they near public transportation? And also because the answer of what should I pack for Austin is pretty much the same as what should I pack for Antigua, Guatemala. And I don't know if it's significant that Tony Donahue has since left Expedia. I'm Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Let's check out the mailbag. What's in there, Sarah?
Scott wrote in, and this is about our conversation with Shannon Morse last Friday about duplicated videos being not good on YouTube anymore. Scott says, Tom questioned what the YouTube partner changes would do to aggregator channels. Scott says, I don't know how popular or common those are. You could make the argument that the aggregation is the content that they're adding to duplicated videos. That's especially easy if the aggregator is chopping up videos and splicing together. However, it's a question if YouTube will bite on that argument. I think by the letter of the rule, aggregators are out, especially if YouTube thinks their algorithm is the only aggregator you need.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more my guess is if you're mashing things up. In other words, if you're like doing a highlight reel, like, hey, I found all these great clips, check out all these channels, YouTube might let that go because you're adding value by providing context and providing an overview. If you're just copying a video entirely and putting it up, and that's all that's on that channel, I think that's what.
Yeah. It's diminished value.
So. Yeah, Lamarr, is that a problem that you run into much? Oh, we can't hear you. That is a problem we're running into right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Hi.
I thought you were just thinking really hard about it.
No, that is a problem I deal with every day. Someone messages me and says that one of my videos has been copied. It's gotten to a point where I just, if I get the message, I'll act on it. But it'd be nice if YouTube, well, as they're going to have this program where they can go through and do that, because it's not people adding commentary. I don't care about that. These people taking my complete video and uploading on these random channels. I get them taken down instantly when I report it, but it's a losing battle. It's just constantly happening. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings about this one.
Well, Lamarr, when you aren't trying to squash duplicate videos on YouTube, where can people find out what your wonderful work is that is original and unique to you? How do they find it?
Oh, you saved that one really well. So yeah, I'm on YouTube, youtube.com/Lamarr Wilson. I do unboxings I consider to be fun. My latest one should be interesting to a lot of this audience. I bought a voice activated trash can. And I braved the $200+ to try this out. It's pretty hilarious, and it works great. I think it's a great product. I think it's ridiculous no one should buy it because for the price. But if you like stuff like that, check out my channel on YouTube, and of course I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all that with the same name. Thank you.
Thank you, Lamarr. And thank you, everybody who supports this show. Whether you just listen to the public version, in which there's a few ads, or you support us on Patreon, where you can get access to ad-free versions, plus extended versions like our Good Day Internet that includes DTNS and so much more. You are supporting the show the way you want to. You have the choice to support us. We always try to get one more patron every month than the last month. Right now, we have 15 fewer patrons than last month because there's always a few people who have to drop off for financial reasons, mostly. So if you can join them, just $1 a month, please do help us get us to our monthly goal by pledging just $1 at patreon.com/DTNS.
If you have feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Our email address is feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. That's an easy way to do it. We're also live Monday through Friday. Join us if you can, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 2030 UTC. And you can find out more at dailytechnewsshow.com/live.
Back tomorrow with Patrick Beja as our guest. Talk to you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
And the trash can does not have any internet Wi-Fi capabilities. It's just 2 words: open can. That's it.
Oh, so it's all on board.
It's
not
all on
spying
board.
on you.
It's not spying.
Not
There's no
scanning
cameras.
your trash and then
there's
selling
no
you
internet.
So it just,
Yes.
you just tell it to open? Do you tell it to
Open.
close?
No, it'll close on its own once it does. The sensor detects that you're not there. So really good for kids or pet who jumps in, trying to look and won't close all the way.
$200 though.
And you can say
it's
what?
completely ridiculous.
You can say open and what else?
No, that's it. Open can.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
you have to say can. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, my current trash can was $100 at Bed Bath & Beyond.
What?
Yeah, that's where I got it. Yes.
$200 is like, I mean, that's crazy, right? But
My-
$100 is crazy for a stupid trash can also.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple human, right? We
It
all
was,
yeah, yeah.
and it's great. You know, it's foot activated. It works as advertised, but it was
Why
$100.
I bought a simple human trash can at Creighton or Bed Bath and Beyond recently that was not $100.
Well, there are different sizes.
All right.
The
Yeah.
one that you bought is smaller than that one.
This one has recycling on one and trash in the other too, so it's a little bit more expensive.
I
Yeah.
have one of those simple human. I spent $50. I remember it because it's like, this is the most I've ever spent for a garbage can. What am I doing? But it's very simple. There's no foot, nothing. It just has like a lid on it that's weighted. So, it's like you just, like in a restaurant, you push it through one side and it just closes. You can put it on either side. Great thing is it's super simple design and it lasts and it does what it's supposed to, which is keep the smells in the trash can and not in the kitchen.
Right.
And for $50,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I don't know, I've had this trash can for a few different apartments, but at some point it was like I was moving somewhere and I just needed a new trash can or something.
Mhm.
And I remember being like, I can't believe I just spent $100.
I said the
But
same.
it works great. It's the best trash can I've ever had, but that's how much it was.
I just have this wicker trash can.
Yeah. Well, it's what I do. Like I said, I don't recommend it to anybody. It's what I do. I get my money back on the video. So but it was just crazy. It's just a crazy thing that you could talk to your trash can. And,
Yeah. I kind of love that I wish it could do more, but then I don't know what more it would need to do, honestly. So
I think,
I like
that's
that it's not connected to the internet. It's like, hey,
no, it's just motion or voice. Yeah, that's
and
it.
I bet that gets cheaper.
I think that's one of the pitfalls for a lot of intelligent whatever toaster trash can is people want to make it too intelligent, more so than it really needs to be. And so
Right.
you just get a very complicated device, and because it's so complicated, tends to be a little less reliable at doing the one thing you need it to do.
Yeah, like I'm interested in that Alexa microwave. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm because I don't need it, but like I'm just interested in that concept because I think that's pure laziness right there. You're right there at the microwave. Like, why not just?
But it's like
put the time in?
$40. So, and I'm actually
Is it?
moving soon. Yeah, I think it's
Oh.
$40. I'm moving soon, and I've had microwaves that were just part of the kitchen for a
That's what
long
mine-
time, and so I don't
What do
have
we
a
call the
standalone
show?
microwave.
What's the name of the show?
Well, the top one I like is "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not just a digital assistant." But there's
That's a
also
long
pretty.
title.
there's also the other Star Trek references. Please state the nature of your medical emergency. From Voyager.
Same length almost, but okay.
Yes. And then what was the other one? Do you have a cold? Cough, cough.
Okay, so none about Adobe.
None about Adobe. Yeah. I didn't know Rush puns. I'm really surprised. Yeah.
Adobe rushes your tablet. Rushes for the tablet.
A rush to edit.
A rush to edit.
So what
Which
am I
is
calling?
interesting.
A rush
They picked
to
that
edit
name.
makes more sense because the rush is not just for tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, rush is, I mean, in video or movie production, it's whatever you shot that day that you send in.
Right.
Back
All
when it
these
was film, it
producers
was the
in the
stuff
house.
that you developed right away.
I was wondering why they called it Rush. So
What's
now
the
I know.
title?
Adobe, what do we say, Lamarr? Adobe
I said-
Rush.
I said
What
Rush
about
to edit. But yeah.
Adobe rushes to edit.
Cool. Oh, you get that Adobe in there. Metadata.
So anyway, I think I'm going to buy that smart microwave, and I'll let you guys know how smart it actually is. 'cause I
Well,
need
good
a
luck on
microwave, so
your
why not?
move. Will you still be in our vicinity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a new vessel.
Gotcha.
So-
It was really funny. I was there yesterday, just checking on some stuff that was supposed to be done, and just making sure things were fixed that were supposed to be fixed.
Mhm.
And the people who lived there before had curtains, and so they took the curtains with them, and so blinds had to be installed. And the blinds were there. And I was like, wait a second, you can't like raise or lower them? That's
Oh, is those
weird.
kind of
Like,
blinds?
I can't have
Yeah.
slats that are just there all the time. I want to be
Hey,
able
Roger,
to like
the
raise them
episode
fully.
number is wrong. I think it should be 3388, right?
Yeah.
It was 3389 in the blog post.
Oh.
Is that right?
No,
3388.
you're right. It is no, I have the. You're right. No,
Okay.
you're right.
All right. Thank you.
No,
Good catch.
That's a lot of episodes. man.
I know what I'm doing, and it's really annoying.
I know what you're doing too, and I've done it before, which is why I don't want to say anything more because it's annoying. And
No, it's because I look at the.
it's hard to fix your brain.
I fixed
Monday
it. No, when I create a new show, in the
Mhm.
doc,
Yeah, you
I
you
put the
iterate.
episode number, but
But then when you create the next one, you iterate again. I
yeah, it's like,
totally
oh,
get
that's
it. Yeah.
like no.
All right.
So let me ask you this, Lamarr. Are you now that you've used? Was it Rush that you were using, or just?
Rush. Yeah. Again, very briefly, but yes.
Would you
Today's Tom
consider
Sawyer.
just using it full time and ditching everything else?
Consider yes. Practically, knowing I use some FX Factory plugins for echo reduction and some other stuff. So probably not. But like if my videos migrated to a more vlog type format, or if I was traveling and doing more, absolutely. I would. Yeah. But right now, I have a few things. Again, I'm not even that good at Final Cut. I've been using it for 7 years, but I don't even know half of the stuff that I'm supposed to do in there. So something simpler would be great if my workflow didn't slow down. Right now, I think because I'm so used to using one thing that my workflow would significantly slow down to like I used to where everything is. Yeah. But yeah, to edit on a tablet, oh man, yeah. Or my phone to finish it up and then send it to YouTube. That'd be great.
Especially when you do those skateboarding and surfing videos that feature your dream catcher.
You know how I do on the weekend. Yeah, exactly.
We all do it. We all do it.
We all do those. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but I actually kind of like the Adobe subscription because they eventually like GPU support for the Mercury playback engine and stuff they fix in After Effects. So it's a plus.
I've been considering, especially since I don't have it set up right now because I'm redoing this room yet again. But I have an 18-core desktop that's just sitting around, not doing anything. But I'm in my box. It's not even an Apple thing. It's just that I've been using something for 7 years. And I've been using that one software to edit. And so I would ideally should be moving over to Premiere or to Adobe so it could be universal. I just haven't made that jump yet.
Got such habits, and you're like, I know I can do this really fast, and if I change,
that's
it's
what it
slower.
is. Yeah.
Even if you know it's going to be faster eventually, it's just making that leap.
Yeah.
Although I know editors, they're much more talented than I am. They all kind of say the same thing: is after about a week, once you get your hotkeys memorized, the programs do the same things.
Yes.
You know, it's even for me. It's like when I first started with Premiere, I was like, I hate it. I hate everything about it because I was a Final Cut user as well, Lamarr. Even though I was using Final Cut 7, it was really old, but I was just really used to it. But Premiere is for this kind of simple stuff that I'm doing. You know, a little cross dissolve here and there, adding some music. You know, a few different layers of this, that, maybe a little text. I caught on pretty quick.
That's pretty much what I do. Like my videos are not like some Casey Neistat productions. They're you know, it's me sitting at a table.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, and sometimes I do one take on a lot of things. So like that, I don't need. That's why Rush kind of looks a little appealing. You know, I do microcut some things. I did notice there was an ability to go in there and kind of precision cut, which I was worried they wouldn't have in there. So yeah, give it. I don't know, a few months. I don't know. Beginning of the year.
Let me
do it.
Is Adobe Rush?
Does your Alexa need to diagnose that, Roger? I noticed that.
I don't have a voice assistant. I only have a wife and children that will do my. Really, you get your kids trained well. They're in some ways even better than a voice assistant. Check the lights.
Let's hope so.
So is that the goal? Is that the goal? Is to have like many little servants around the house?
I don't like to think of them as servants, more as
but they're storing everything. Their privacy policies are horrible.
Yeah, they'll tell on you in a moment.
Well, that's why you don't say anything in front of them that you wouldn't say over an encrypted chat.
GDPR is going to crack down on children soon.
I'm gonna try Rush because I already subscribed to Creative Cloud.
I think I'm gonna try Creative Cloud again and just eat the cost and just try it and try Premiere and try this.
Because my wife used to work at an educational institution and she needed
discount.
Yeah, it's $30 a month. I mean, it's $20 cheaper.
Yeah, that's still significant. Yeah, I wish I could still use mine from my. Still have my ID, but I don't want to do that. I feel really weird. Though the other thing I was going to mention that I didn't get a chance to say in the show, I use a Pixelmator Pro, which is like it's the Mac complement to Photoshop, and it has a iPad and iPhone, same type of thing syncing. So you know it, but. There's a couple. It's just I'm not super proficient. I just make thumbnails, right? But there's just a couple things in there that is done differently enough to irritate me and wish I had my Photoshop back. So I don't know. I've been thinking about the whole Adobe thing because you're right, Sarah. Like everybody uses it, like who's in the pros and in general. There are some that do Final Cut, but
I've done contract work where it's like you're done. Email me all the files you used, or like FTP up all the source. Well, actually, I didn't need to because they already had the source files. Just email them the project file, and that way they can do whatever to it when they needed to.
Yeah, and I started running into that all the time, where it was like, oh, just send me the Premiere file, and and then we'll figure out where all the source material is on a hard drive or something. Where I was like, okay.
About that. Yeah.
So B Masters mentioned that everybody should use Pro Tools. Then, well, yeah, everybody uses them because that's all we have. But like with this could change the game for some significant people. Like I don't think I need the full version of what I use for what I do. Just like Sarah doesn't need. Like we use it, but I don't use 20-30% of Final Cut's potential. I just don't.
Well, and even audio-based software, same thing. I use Logic for a variety of projects. For Daily Tech Headlines.
That's pretty advanced.
That's my recording software. I don't know. That's just what I bought when I bought it, and I've spent a lot of time kind of trying to figure it out. But it is way more advanced than what I use it for currently. I don't even make music, right? It's mostly for musicians, but it works fine for podcasts. But the other day, I had to record a podcast. I show up with all my gear and I was like, oh no, I don't have my laptop. Oh my gosh, I just didn't put it in my backpack. And so, on site, it was like, okay, well, we're not going to buy Logic again, but you got GarageBand. Okay, let's try that. Well, we'll figure something out. And it's like the interface is exactly the same. And for whatever reason, I'm just using the more complicated program because back in the day, I was like, well, just buy the cooler one, because
that way you'll have everything you need just in case. Yeah.
Right. But it's like, it literally looks like the exact same program. Everything about, because I just haven't opened GarageBand in a while, and it worked fine. But I mean, there was a little bit of figuring a few things out as far as inputs, but I felt like, if I really would have thought about this, I could have just used GarageBand this whole time, because I didn't need all the bells and whistles of the more complicated program. And I don't know when I will, even though they're there. I'm not, going to be composing an orchestra anytime soon.
You're not going to be doing the next EDM hit.
There's just so many, and there's a lot of stuff that just takes up a lot of computer space, like many gigs of audio effects, where it's like, I mean, for podcasting, I never want my voice to be I think
that's
like
sort of
a robot or
No, of course not. And you don't want to hear that either.
No,
but you might if you stick around for audio. Video folks, you don't get the chance.
Stick around for audio.
Goodbye, video.